The war in Ukraine is not just a confrontation between two countries, but also a complex picture of international relations. The presence of North Korean soldiers on the Russian side has made the situation on the battlefield more unpredictable than ever. The recent capture of 2 North Korean soldiers, a rarity in their military tradition, has revealed cracks in this strategic bond and opened up new perspectives on their role in this fierce conflict. Ukrainian forces have captured 2 North Korean soldiers in Russia's Kursk border region, marking the first confirmed live captures since North Korea's entry into the conflict. These soldiers were initially found wounded during Ukrainian operations in the area and were later transferred to Kyiv for medical treatment. The capture took place on January 9, 2024, amidst active military operations. Medical assessments showed that one soldier had facial injuries, while the other had a leg fracture and an open wound. During the investigation, Ukrainian authorities found that one soldier lacked identification, while the other had a Russian military ID card, which identified him as being from Tuva, a region in Russia near Mongolia. President Zelensky has proposed using the captured soldiers as leverage in a prisoner exchange for Ukrainian personnel held by Russia. Meanwhile, the Security Service of Ukraine has released footage showing the prisoners receiving medical care in detention facilities. Background checks revealed the first soldier, born in 2005, had served as a rifleman since 2021, while the second soldier, born in 1999, had been a sniper reconnaissance officer since 2016. South Korea's National Intelligence Service confirmed their participation in questioning the prisoners and identified them as members of North Korea's Reconnaissance General Bureau, a key military intelligence unit. These captures provide significant evidence of North Korea's military involvement in the conflict, highlighting the extent of their presence and the human cost of their participation. Intelligence estimates suggest that approximately 11,000 North Korean troops have been deployed to the Kursk region, with South Korean intelligence confirming substantial casualties, 300 fatalities and 2,700 injured. This incident not only underscores the deepening complexities of the war in Ukraine, but also brings North Korea's covert role on the battlefield into sharper focus. The difficult realities faced by these soldiers offer further insight into the motivations behind defections and challenges encountered on the front lines. Recent intelligence has revealed that North Korean troops are grappling with conditions far removed from their training and expectations. These challenges highlight the stark gap between their preparation and the demands of modern warfare, shedding light on the broader implications of their deployment and the struggles they endure in a conflict that is both foreign and unrelenting. The deployment conditions for North Korean soldiers are harsh and unforgiving. Operating under severe constraints, they grapple with inadequate preparation for the unfamiliar terrain, language barriers with Russian commanders, and limited resources for basic military operations. Many are stationed in exposed positions without proper cover, leaving them vulnerable to enemy fire. Adding to their struggle, Russian commanders often employ crude tactics, sending these troops into frontal assault campaigns without sufficient rear fire support. Beyond the physical hardships, the battlefield has introduced North Korean soldiers to modern warfare technology for the first time. Encounters with advanced combat systems, particularly drone warfare, highlight their lack of preparation for the complexities of contemporary military engagements. This technological and tactical gap is exacerbated by their typical pre-deployment activities, which often involve construction work or farming, rather than intensive combat training. Perhaps the most harrowing aspect of their experience lies in the extreme measures imposed to prevent capture. Intelligence reports have uncovered suicide orders issued to these troops, with directives instructing them to take their own lives rather than face capture, driven by fears of severe reprisals against their families in North Korea. In one chilling incident, a soldier shouted, "General Kim Jong-un!" and attempted to detonate a grenade as Ukrainian forces closed in, illustrating the depth of their indoctrination and desperation. The brutality extends further, with reports of Russian forces and North Korean troops executing their own wounded to eliminate evidence of North Korea's involvement. This grim reality underscores the expendability of these soldiers, who face not only external threats but also danger from their side. The plight of North Korean troops in Ukraine paints a bleak picture of their role in the conflict, revealing the immense human cost of their participation. These hardships, rooted in inadequate preparation, exposure to unfamiliar and hostile conditions, and the oppressive control of their leadership, underscore the vulnerability of these soldiers on the battlefield. These challenges have broader implications, particularly for the military alliance between Russia and North Korea. As the realities of their joint operations in Ukraine come to light, the strain on their partnership becomes evident. Substantial casualties among North Korean forces have not only affected their operational effectiveness, but also tested the resilience of the diplomatic and military ties between the two nations. This evolving dynamic reflects the profound impact of the conflict on both their strategic goals and their long-term collaboration. Mounting losses have highlighted tensions within the alliance. With an estimated 10,000, 12,000 North Korean troops deployed, nearly 300 have been fatalities and 2,700 wounded. These casualties have raised serious questions about Russia's deployment tactics, as North Korean forces are often sent into combat without sufficient support or preparation. This has sparked criticism regarding the strategic handling of Allied forces, further straining the relationship. The reliability of North Korean troops has also come under scrutiny due to operational challenges that limit their effectiveness. Their lack of independent operational control, unfamiliarity with the Kursk region's terrain, and difficulties in communication with Russian commanders have led to significant tactical disadvantages. Additionally, their limited exposure to modern warfare technologies, such as drone operations, has hindered their adaptability in a high-tech combat environment. Despite these challenges, the alliance persists, offering strategic benefits to both nations. For Russia, the presence of North Korean forces provides additional manpower, infantry support, and tactical diversity. For North Korea, the partnership grants access to advanced military technology, combat experience, and potential economic support. These mutual advantages underscore the strategic motivations behind their cooperation, even in the face of mounting difficulties. Looking ahead, the partnership holds the potential to bolster North Korea's military capabilities through technology transfers and battlefield experience. The mutual defense agreement signed between the two nations reflects a long-term commitment to military collaboration, with implications that extend far beyond the immediate conflict. This alignment between North Korea and Russia could significantly reshape regional stability in the Asia-Pacific, reducing North Korea's dependence on China and altering the existing power dynamics. Military analysts suggest that this evolving partnership might introduce new complexities to geopolitics, with implications not only for their allies but also for adversaries. These broader geopolitical shifts are mirrored on the battlefield, where North Korea's involvement in Ukraine provides a microcosm of its military and strategic ambitions. Ukrainian intelligence efforts have further illuminated North Korea's role in this conflict. The Security Service of Ukraine, supported by South Korean translators, has obtained valuable insights from the interrogation of captured North Korean soldiers. These findings reveal crucial details about the soldiers' backgrounds, harsh deployment conditions, and the operational challenges they face. Together, these revelations underscore the global implications of North Korea's expanding military engagements and the far-reaching consequences of its alliance with Russia. One soldier, born in 2005 and serving as a rifleman since 2021, admitted to initially believing he was being sent for training rather than active combat. The other, born in 1999, was identified as a sniper scout with specialized training. Both soldiers, now receiving medical treatment for injuries sustained during combat, recounted harrowing experiences, including enduring up to 5 days without food or water, underscoring the harsh realities of their deployment. Intelligence gathered during these interrogations has shed light on North Korean military tactics and their integration into Russian command structures. The soldiers, members of the elite 11th Corps, also known as the Storm Corps, have undergone specialized training in infiltration and sabotage operations. Despite their elite status, they have struggled to adapt to modern warfare elements such as drone combat, received limited tactical support from Russian commanders, and operated in unfamiliar terrain vastly different from the mountainous landscapes of North Korea. The collaboration between Ukrainian and South Korean intelligence services has been instrumental in uncovering these details. South Korea's National Intelligence Service confirmed its involvement in questioning the soldiers, verifying their elite training, and providing critical analysis of their operational challenges. The captured soldiers' testimonies have offered unprecedented insights into North Korea's role in the conflict, including accounts of combat operations and casualty rates during early January. These revelations not only highlight the limitations of North Korean forces in modern warfare, but also offer Ukrainian forces actionable intelligence that can significantly impact their strategies. The information gathered has provided a clearer understanding of North Korea's military capabilities and how its alliance with Russia operates within the broader conflict. This intelligence is vital for assessing North Korea's role and anticipating its future actions on the battlefield. In parallel, the treatment of the captured North Korean soldiers in Ukrainian custody reflects a careful balancing of humanitarian obligations and the need to gather further intelligence. These soldiers are currently receiving comprehensive care, which stands in stark contrast to the harsh conditions they endured during their deployment. The Security Service of Ukraine ensures that the prisoners are treated by international humanitarian standards, which not only safeguards their well-being, but also facilitates the ongoing collection of valuable intelligence. The medical treatment provided to the prisoners is extensive and ongoing. One soldier is receiving dental care for facial injuries, while the other undergoes treatment for an open wound and a lower leg fracture. Both soldiers are receiving care in medical facilities in Kyiv, where specialized medical teams work alongside interpreters to ensure accurate communication and maintain confidentiality regarding their recovery progress. The care includes emergency assistance upon capture, dental procedures, wound care, and fracture management, with the overall aim of ensuring their physical health during their detention. In line with the Third Geneva Convention, Ukrainian authorities ensure that the soldiers are protected from violence, humiliation, and forced repatriation. They are also granted access to communication through Korean interpreters, and their status and condition are documented in compliance with international law. To further ensure that the treatment aligns with global standards, Ukrainian authorities are working closely with the United Nations and the International Committee of the Red Cross. Given the high-risk environment these prisoners face, the SBU has implemented robust protection protocols. Intelligence reports indicate that returning North Korean soldiers could face severe consequences, including enforced disappearance, torture, wrongful imprisonment, forced labor, or even execution for perceived desertion. This makes their protection a sensitive matter, not just physically but also in terms of their potential future. The Ukrainian government is working with international organizations to explore options for their future, including the possibility of asylum, to safeguard them from the harsh reprisals they might face upon return to North Korea. The complexity of the situation surrounding the captured North Korean soldiers extends beyond their safety to include the potential retaliation faced by their families in North Korea. This adds a layer of sensitivity, requiring Ukrainian authorities to navigate the issue with utmost care. The authorities are committed to safeguarding the prisoners' rights while adhering to international law, ensuring their treatment is in line with humanitarian standards. The communication with the prisoners is meticulously coordinated with South Korean intelligence services, allowing for the collection of accurate intelligence while respecting the soldiers' legal status as prisoners of war. The global reaction to these defections has been swift and forceful. The capture of the North Korean soldiers has prompted widespread diplomatic condemnation, with the United States, South Korea, and Japan issuing a joint statement that condemns the military activities as a flagrant violation of multiple UN Security Council resolutions. This international response underscores the growing concern over the deepening military cooperation between Russia and North Korea, particularly within the context of the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. The defection has not only amplified geopolitical tensions, but also highlighted the broader implications of the evolving North Korean-Russian alliance, prompting further scrutiny from global powers. The international response has focused on several key issues. First, there is condemnation of the North Korean-Russian military collaboration, seen as a breach of international norms and resolutions. Additionally, concerns about weapons proliferation have intensified, with fears that North Korea's participation in the conflict could lead to the spread of dangerous technologies. Lastly, there are growing demands for the immediate withdrawal of North Korean troops from Ukraine, with many questioning the legitimacy and potential consequences of their involvement. The United States, taking a particularly strong stance, directly challenged Russian representatives about the presence of North Korean troops during UN Security Council discussions. In contrast, Russia's deputy ambassador remained silent, refusing to acknowledge the presence of North Korean forces. This silence has further fueled international skepticism about Russia's role in facilitating North Korea's involvement in the conflict. South Korea, in particular, has expressed grave concerns about the national security implications of this development. South Korean Foreign Minister Cho Tae-yul condemned the deployment in the strongest possible terms, warning that North Korea's actions pose a direct threat to both European and Korean peninsula security. South Korea has raised several critical issues, including the potential legitimization of North Korea's weapons program, the risk of North Korean combat experience destabilizing the region, and the possibility of technology transfers from Russia. In response, South Korea has pledged to work closely with international partners to address these security threats and ensure that such violations of UN General Assembly resolutions are confronted. At the United Nations, the security implications of this emerging alliance have been deeply analyzed. The situation is becoming an unexpected proxy battlefield for tensions that have long been simmering on the Korean peninsula. Key security concerns identified include the risk of the conflict expanding beyond Ukraine, challenges to the post-Cold War security arrangements, and the potential for multi-theater conflicts. Moreover, the alliance between Russia and North Korea could undermine global security and arms control efforts, particularly if North Korea gains combat experience and tests advanced weapon systems in Ukraine. South Korea's defense minister has gone so far as to label North Korean troops in Ukraine as mercenaries disguised in Russian uniforms, operating under Russian military command. This characterization raises serious questions about the status of these soldiers under international law and their protection protocols. The broader geopolitical implications of this alliance could shift the balance of power on the Korean peninsula, with the potential for North Korea to gain combat experience and advanced weaponry that may have lasting consequences for regional security. In response, the United States and its allies must maintain strategic clarity to avoid exacerbating tensions and drawing the Korean peninsula into renewed conflict. South Korea, on its part, may consider increasing its support to Ukraine, including through intelligence sharing and military assistance, to counter the emerging threat posed by the North Korean-Russian alliance. This evolving situation requires careful diplomatic maneuvering to prevent further escalation and protect global stability. The escalating involvement of North Korean military forces in Ukraine is intensifying diplomatic tensions and significantly altering global power dynamics. The deployment of North Korean troops to Russia's Kursk region represents a major shift in the international order, with implications that stretch far beyond the battlefield. The presence of North Korean forces complicates any efforts toward peace negotiations between Russia and Ukraine, further entrenching the conflict. This development raises key concerns, including the formation of a new anti-Western coalition, the transformation of regional conflicts into global confrontations, and the heightened risk of multi-theater warfare. As part of ongoing negotiations, Ukraine has offered to exchange captured North Korean soldiers for Ukrainian prisoners of war held in Russia. However, the presence of these troops in Ukraine threatens to expand the conflict beyond its current borders, with broader geopolitical consequences. In the realm of international sanctions, the United Nations Security Council is facing an unprecedented challenge in enforcing existing measures against North Korea. Although the arms embargo, military training ban, and economic restrictions are in place, their effectiveness is undermined by Russia's veto power, limited enforcement capabilities, and the diversion of trade routes circumventing sanctions. To address these issues, the United States, South Korea, and Japan have formed a new multinational team to monitor sanctions enforcement, though obstacles persist. From a regional security perspective, the military cooperation between North Korea and Russia poses significant threats to stability, particularly in Northeast Asia. South Korea has expressed concerns over the potential legitimization of North Korea's weapons program through its participation in combat operations, the risk of advanced technology transfers from Russia, and the potential disruption of the security balance on the Korean peninsula. China, too, has voiced apprehension, fearing increased U.S. involvement in East Asia and complications to its regional security. The ongoing situation has turned Ukraine into an unexpected proxy battlefield for Korean peninsula tensions. This new alignment between Russia and North Korea represents a strategic pivot aimed at challenging post-Cold War security arrangements, signaling a broader effort to build an anti-Western coalition. Such developments heighten concerns that Pyongyang could be emboldened to engage in other ongoing conflicts alongside partners opposed to Western interests. In response, South Korea is considering increasing its support for Ukraine, potentially through intelligence sharing and military assistance, to counter the growing threat posed by this alliance. The situation requires delicate diplomatic maneuvering, as it threatens to internationalize the conflict in Ukraine and transform it into a broader global confrontation, further destabilizing an already fragile world order. For the United States and its allies, the evolving dynamics in Ukraine necessitate preparation for increased instability in Northeast Asia. This emerging alliance between Russia and North Korea not only challenges established security frameworks but also risks escalating regional conflicts into global ones. A coordinated international response is essential to prevent further escalation and ensure the preservation of global peace and security. The fate of the captured North Korean soldiers in Ukraine is a critical and complex issue, with international authorities carefully weighing various options for their future. Ukrainian President Zelensky has put forward multiple potential pathways for these soldiers, considering both repatriation and alternative arrangements such as asylum. The legal framework for asylum is complicated and involves significant challenges. According to South Korea's Unification Ministry spokesperson Koo Byung-sum, facilitating asylum would require extensive legal reviews of international law, consultations with the nations involved, and coordination between multiple governments. While the possibility of asylum remains open, it requires navigating complex bureaucratic procedures. A thorough analysis of potential destinations for asylum shows that South Korea offers cultural familiarity but faces a complex legal process. Ukraine provides immediate protection but with language barriers, and third countries could offer neutral ground but with limited precedents for such cases. The alternative of repatriation to North Korea carries severe risks for the captured soldiers. Intelligence reports suggest that those who are sent back could face enforced disappearances, torture, wrongful imprisonment, forced labor, and even execution for perceived desertion. The principle of non-refoulement, which prohibits the repatriation of individuals to countries where they risk persecution or torture, is a critical consideration. Moreover, the families of these soldiers in North Korea could also face retaliation, adding another layer of danger to the repatriation process. The soldiers' integration into a new society presents a range of obstacles, from cultural adaptation to psychological support. Military analyst Yang Uk notes that many soldiers might attempt suicide due to their loyalty to the Kim Jong-un regime and concerns for their families. The integration process would involve overcoming language barriers, adapting to unfamiliar social systems, and adjusting to different cultural norms. Additionally, they would need trauma counseling to address the psychological toll of their experiences, as well as support in dealing with family separation stress. Practical considerations such as obtaining documentation, finding employment, and securing housing would also need to be addressed. Ultimately, the Ukrainian government has stated that it will support any captured soldiers who express interest in promoting peace by sharing the truth about the war in their native language. The South Korean government, while cautious, has indicated that it would be open to discussions if the soldiers express a desire to resettle in South Korea. Although around 34,000 North Koreans have defected to South Korea in the past, the defections of military personnel present unique challenges. The capture of these soldiers is a milestone, as they are the first North Korean troops to be captured alive in the ongoing conflict. Their treatment will set important precedents that could influence future defections and diplomatic relations. Human rights organizations emphasize the need to treat these soldiers with dignity, inform them of their rights, and protect them from forced repatriation, all in line with international humanitarian law. The successful integration of these soldiers will undoubtedly present a significant challenge, but it also offers a unique opportunity for receiving nations to make a profound impact on both the individuals involved and the broader geopolitical landscape. As these former elite soldiers transition into a democratic society, the careful support systems put in place will be crucial in ensuring their safe and successful adaptation. This situation stands as a pivotal moment, one that could influence future defections, diplomatic relations, and regional stability. How do you think the international community should approach these complex issues to balance humanitarian concerns with geopolitical strategies?